Everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making pizza di Scarole, which is Escarole pizza, but it's not an open pizza, it's almost like a pie. So it gets pizza crust at the bottom, the escaroles in the middle, and the cover on top of more pizza dough. So let me get started with the ingredients. It's simple. The first thing you're going to be doing is the pizza dough because it needs to rise, and then you'll have plenty of time to take care of the escarole. So let me show you the ingredients for the escarole. I have a beautiful bel mazzo di scarola, and we'll wash and boil and then we'll saute, but we'll get to it a little bit later. I have 2 cloves of garlic, 4 or 5 anchovies in salt, oil, okay, make sure it's not in vinegar. I have capers di pantelleria. They were brought back from Italy and I love them. These are the best gifts you could get. They're in salt too. Make sure they're not in vinegar. I have raisins soaking in water, some pinoli nuts, and Gaeta olives. Now, if any of these ingredients you don't like, you know, what's a must is the garlic and the olives. But if you don't like the raisins or the pinoli nuts or the anchovies, leave them out. It's okay. So then I have the pizza dough, which we're going to make together right now, but I want to talk a little bit more about, I have mozzarella and some eggs that I will boil for hard-boiled eggs because my zia Luisa in Meta di Sorrento, she will make our pizza di Scarole with a layer on top of boiled eggs and little tocchetti di mozzarella, little pieces of mozzarella. And that's, you know, food, it's all about comfort and what you grow up with. So that's how I like it. You want to leave it out, it's fine, but try at least half of the pizza di Scarole and see how it comes out. Okay, let's get started with the pizza dough. 4 cups of bread flour, which is half a kilo. I have 1 1/3 cup lukewarm water. I'm going to add a teaspoon of the sugar to that, and because I'm going to add also a teaspoon of the dry active yeast. I have 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Let's proof the yeast, and this is basically just to see if your yeast is alive and active. I use mine so often so I know it's good, but I just want to show you. The minute the yeast starts eating the sugar, it's going to start foaming and bubbling up. That means it's alive and active. You see? Take a look at that. Okay, now let's add the flour in the salt in the flour, but what I want to do is get that mixed in because I don't want it to come in direct contact with the yeast. So I'm going to mix that in gently and then just put it in my stand-up mixer. With the hook attachment on low speed, let's start adding the water and yeast mixture. I'm going to add the oil too. Just slowly let it get picked up and absorbed into the flour. With a spatula, work the flour towards the center and start your mixer again. The dough is coming together beautifully. Just let it mix, and you want it to work at least 5 to 6 minutes. For the people that don't have a stand-up mixer, it's very easy to do by hand. Just make sure you have olio di gomito and get working. It needs a good, I would say also, 5, 8, even 10 minutes. Get it good work on it, good kneading, and then let it rise. Okay, let's get the dough on the counter. Take a look at it. Look, you see? Look how soft it is. Bounces right back. All right, now let's just facciamo un bel panetto. Deve fare la sua faccia. What do I always say? It's got to have a beautiful face. There it goes. Okay. Ecco qui. Now, I'm going to take just a little bit of the oil and grease the bowl that I'm going to let it rise in. Okay, just very gently. Again, just put it in. Ecco qua. Like this. So, plastic wrap on top or a kitchen towel, draft-free place. I always mention in all my videos, don't put it in the oven because somebody goes and puts the oven on. It has happened to me. So I don't want it to happen to you. I'm gonna actually put it in the microwave because normally you don't put the microwave on unless you're putting something in so the kids will see it. This rises, let's get started with the escarole. Large bowl of not hot water, warm water. My mother says it helps the sand and the soil fall off. Plus we're boiling the escarole, so no worry about getting them wilted. Because you see, look how sandy and how sandy all the soil. So I'm just going to go leaf by leaf, just add it in. Usually what I like to do is keep this part, this inner part, and make a salad with just lemon, extra virgin olive oil. But I'm not gonna do that today because I want all these escaroles in my pizza. I'm going to remove the escarole from the water, and I have a colander with another tray here, okay? And what this does, whatever the dirty water is in the pot, then in this bowl, I'll drain it out. Because if you flip it upside down, the only thing you're doing is, look how dark the water is. I don't know if you could see it. Look how much soil came out. See that? Now let's start again. Fill it up with the water and let's rinse it one more time. Okay, a little bit of the salt in. What? A teaspoon and a half. I don't want to over salt it. You know why? The anchovies are salty, the olives are salty, so you could always add later when we saute everything. Okay, it's coming to a rolling boil. Now, let's get the escarole. Might seem a lot, but they wilt down to nothing. So don't worry about it. Just keep adding them in. Like this. Beautiful. Lid on it, and let's let it come back up to a boil. 6-7 minutes boiling, it looks great, okay? Now, another little tip how to do this. I have a bowl and the same colander we used to wash it. What I'm going to do is just remove the escarole and place them right in. And the reason why I do that, I'm sorry, my mother is a fanatic with washing vegetables. It's that if there was any extra sand that I didn't get by washing it twice, it's gonna fall to the bottom. So if you drain it over the sink, you're throwing the sand from the bottom into your vegetables again. So like this, it's really avoiding that step. Again, these are little things I learned from my mom, and if I don't do it, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and I want to pass them on to you. Let's squeeze the water out because you don't want wet escaroles because that's going to wet the pizza dough and not cook them thoroughly. As you can see, they're still boiling hot until they cool down. Then once you squeeze all the water out, you want to cut them. You know me and my scissors, but also you could do this with a knife, and I'll show you. Large knife and just chop them away. Okay, let's move over to the stove once this is done, and let's do the next step. All right, the saute pan, medium heat, you don't want it burning right away, so let's get some oil. You want to be generous with your oil, so I'm gonna say, let's see, I at least want to coat the bottom. I'm gonna say about 3 tablespoons, okay? So you nicely coat the bottom because si devono insaporire, so you want the flavors coming through. So I'm gonna add the garlic. I'm just gonna mince it right over the stove. Here it goes. Now don't put the flame on high because you want this, it's got to be golden, and it gives you time to also work right over the stove where you don't need to prep ahead of time, and it takes longer. So this is just easier. Okay, so you just add the garlic. The garlic is in. Okay, now the next step is going to be, I'm going to put the acciughe. You could put them in whole. You don't have to worry. Oh, and I'm going to put some of the acciughe oil. That's going to be all flavor. Now, the capers I already rinsed. And what I want to do is just cut them, we say grossolanamente, how would I say it in English? You know, just a little chop, nothing too fine. Just like this, see that? I love my scissors in the kitchen. If you don't have a great pair, go get one. It just makes cooking so much easier. Ecco qua, pure I capperi dentro. Now, somehow these raisins are like jumbo. They're too big. I want them smaller. So I'm going to cut the raisins too. And even if a little bit of that raisin water falls in, don't worry. That's all flavor. If you don't like the raisins, you don't like the sweetness in it, don't add them. It's okay. I do. I like that contrast. And I also like the nuttiness of the pinoli. I'm not going to add the pinoli yet because I want to wait till it starts frying so they toast a little bit in it. As the oil is heating up, I could already smell all these flavors that are getting combined. Now, as that starts picking up heat, you have time to snocciolare le olive. So I'm just taking the pit out of the olives. You don't want anybody breaking the tooth. Look at this, all the flavors. The olives are all in. Now I want to show you something. I picked up the heat, and what I'm going to do, like I said to you, I'm going to move questo ben di Dio to the side and just right there. And what I'm going to do is I want to toast the pinolis a little bit. So the flame is on higher, and there it goes. Can you put more pinolis? Absolutely. This is about a tablespoon. There it goes. Guarda qua, che si friggono nell'olio, and it just gives them a different flavor. Combine everything now. You have a nice frying going on, and this is when you're gonna add your scarola. The scarola is in. Okay. Now the scarola is going to release a little bit of water. Lower the flame. You don't want to burn anything. The scarola is good. Look, and as it releases water, it picks up all that flavor from the bottom. Okay. I'm going to lower the heat. Do not cover it because any water that gets released, you want it to dry up. Pizza dough is ready to be rolled out. It looks fantastic. Get your oven on 375. So as you roll this out, the oven warms up nicely. Look how soft and beautiful the pizza dough is. So I'm going to cut in half because half is going to be the top and half is going to be for the bottom. Give it a good roll. I like to start the pizza dough by not hitting it with the rolling pin right away. I like to use my fingertips to get it rolled out first. Stretch it out like this all around. See that? Put your two, like almost as if you were punching somebody, and just stretch it out nicely. Let's get it stretched out with the rolling pin now. See, it works so much better once you stretch it out by hand. Otherwise, you hit it with the rolling pin and it goes back. It becomes like elastica. So this is what you want. This is so much easier once you work with it a little bit. Okay, ecco qua. It's pretty much the size of the my plate. I'm going to grease the bottom of my glass pyrex. Also, I like the glass pyrex, and I'll tell you why. Because by being see-through, I could check that the bottom is cooking nicely. And that's definitely a plus. And the glass really heats up nice. I don't like aluminum because it just doesn't heat up and it's not doing anything for the pizza dough. Okay, let's get the dough in. Okay, the escarole is right here. I'm gonna add just a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, not too much. By the way, l'escarole could be eaten like this too. They're absolutely delicious. Why do I keep saying delicious? But I know they are, that's why. Before I close this, I need to taste it because they look really perfette, veramente deliziose. Okay, now I'm going to flatten out the escarole in here. Pizza dough. Let some air out if there's any between. Okay, now normally every house has their own recipe for this. My zia Luisa, God rest her soul, she passed away in October. And this is really in memory of her today. What she did was she would put little pieces of mozzarella and then hard-boiled eggs. So that's exactly how I'm going to do it. And even the way she described, she would not say put slices of mozzarella. She would say, metti dei tocchetti di mozzarella. Tocchetti meaning little pieces. The Italian language is so descriptive in some things. It's just wonderful. And you know that I'm making these videos so even that my daughters could carry on the traditions. So I don't want to, I'm sorry, maybe it's boring to some viewers that just want the recipe, but ultimately I want to pass it on so they will also remember my zia Luisa. So here it is. Ecco tutti I tocchetti di mozzarella. Now the next thing is going to be the hard-boiled eggs. And I'm just going to put the slices all on top. Let's get the top part stretched out. Top is going on. Okay, now, with the extra pizza dough, take a scissor. I want to show you something. Cut it all around. Otherwise, it's going to be too doughy. Now, with all these little pieces left, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna put a little oil on, fry them up, and make little zeppolis. You know why? The kids are going to love you. And that's called the little zeppoline, pizze fritte, whatever you wanna call. So now I'm just gonna grab the corners like this. So you grab the corner, twist, 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 and go all around. See that? Just like twist. There it goes. Just gently brush some extra virgin olive oil on top too. And now it's ready to be baked. Wait, actually no, let's make little with a fork, little holes on top, just if they need some steam to come out, and let's get it in the oven. Okay, making the kids happy. Just grab a scissor, cut small pieces off, and just drop them in the oil. There it goes. Let's take a look. Wow, perfect, perfect, perfect. This, look at the bottom, it looks perfect. And ecco qui, la pizza di Scarole is ready. Now we're gonna cut it. What? Oh, can you see it? It's perfect. Really, really perfect. I'm not gonna taste it. I really wanna enjoy sitting down and having this with my family. But thank you. Subscribe, hit the bell button. A lot of recipes coming up. Zia Luisa, this is for you in your memory. Arrivederci, alla prossima. Ciao, ciao.